Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about Some Girls Season 3, Episode 4. So we're getting down to the very last couple of episodes of the series, and this one is the Topaz episode. We finally get to see Topaz, Amber's sister who slept with Amber's boyfriend Brandon, or ex-boyfriend. Topaz has been mentioned ever since the second episode of the second season, and she was constantly mentioned throughout the rest of the season, but we never once got to see her. And now we finally do in this one-time episode. And I still think she looks like Haley Duffy, who is, I think that's her name, who is the sister of the Lizzie McGuire girl. Ooh, I forgot her name just now. Hillary Duffy. Yes, I think she looks a lot like her. And at first, when I saw Topaz, I'm just kind of like, she looks like one of the pretties from the show and everything, which is the group of like mean, tough girls on the show. And because they wear the same amount of makeup gobbed on their face, but then when you see them online through their Instagram or in other movies, they look completely different because they ain't got all that makeup caked on their face like so many girls do. It's so superficial and everything, but of course that's why they call it the pretties and everything. And so with this episode, it's mainly a Viva Amber episode. Holly has, well, actually, it's also a Holly episode, and of course Zaz doesn't really do nothing. And so in this episode, there's a news crew who wants to kind of, I don't know, they kind of want to interview some of the students, and they want to interview the principal. And so the principal, the headmaster, is Mr. Jeffries. Apparently he's a teacher too. Apparently this school does not have a budget for nothing, because Miss Hitchcock, she is like the soccer coach, but she seems like she's the vice principal as well, and she's always giving like meetings for like school assembly type stuff. And so either the show doesn't have a budget. Well, I know the school, they said, don't have a budget, but I guess the show doesn't either. And so like, yeah, so the news crew's gonna be around, and they're gonna have like they got cameras set up in Mr. Jeffrey's like room for some reason. And I guess they want the like full on like experience of what he's like, kind of like a reality show type of thing. Now, oddly enough, Mr. Jeffries has changed. I remember when they kept calling this man Mr. Jeffries in the episode, I'm like, who in the world are you? Like, you're not Mr. Jeffries. And so they replaced him with a different actor for some reason. Now, the original Mr. Jeffries is bald and overweight. The new one has hair, is much older, and has a bit of weight on him, but not as much as the first actor. I have no idea why they changed him. It's never been explained. So, yeah. And Mr. Jeffrey does what he does best, try to help out Holly. See, in the third episode, which I did not review, Holly is still going through some stuff with her father. He's supposed to get out soon. And, remember, she has to get the money to, like, get the stuff out the pawn shop, or he'll probably kill her mom and go back. Well, he wrote Holly a letter telling her that he's very proud of her and everything. How she stepped up, has remained to, like, stay out of trouble and help like, the brothers and the sisters out, how smart she is, and all this other stuff. This causes Holly to break for the first time really in the whole series. It's the first time we've ever seen her cry. In all 3 seasons, we've never seen her cry. And she is pouring on the tears. And so her friends, Mr. Jeffries, are there to help give her like words of encouragement and stuff. And so with the Holly storyline, because I'll hurry and get through that, see, she wants everything to go smoothly for Mr. Jeffries because she kind of messed things up. Because when she went in his office, she started talking to him, and then he started crying because his husband, he thinks, is leaving him for like a younger, slimmer man. Now, it is now finally confirmed that he is, in fact, gay. See, they mentioned part of that in the first season because when Amber met Mr. Jeffries in the first season, she was kind of nasty and mean to him, talking about, I'll turn you in, I'll say you touched me, and everything like that. Being her nasty Holly self, you know what I'm saying? Because he disciplined her and she doesn't like it and giving her rules and she don't like that. And then it might be, and then one time in one episode she mentioned she saw him with a man, and he tried to deny it. But then it is confirmed he is in fact gay. So he's upset, he's crying, and this is all getting recorded on the video camera in his room, which he apparently doesn't really know about from the news crew. And she tries to tell him, but he's too busy crying and bawling. And like he's calling his lover on the phone and just insulting him, this and that. So then she goes up and she turns off the camera. So now she needs to make him look like a hero. So her and Zaz are gonna fake like a fight in the hall where he's around and the camera crew's around. So Holly and Zaz just going at it with like insults and everything. Until Zaz brings up Holly's dad. And Holly does not like that. And Zaz goes in hard about how terrible her father is. Holly gets so pissed, she punches Zaz in the nose. And Zaz is kind of like, what you really hit me for and stuff. And then so Holly's all like, I don't care, you don't talk about my father like that. And then she leaves and the news crew saw that and everything. So then she hid herself in the closet and Mr. Jeffries found her. And so he's talking to her and he's consoling her and he's giving her advice about like, about how what she did was wrong, about hitting Zaz, and tells her, if your father ends up going back to prison, that's gonna be on him and not you, and you shouldn't let that like get you down and stuff. Now this Mr. Jeffries is way better with the consoling and counseling than not the other one. The other one's better with the humor, but this one's good with humor too. But it's just this one, he sounds more of a theatrical type actor. Like his words really hit you, you know what I'm saying? Like he feels like that father figure. And that's who Mr. Jeffries is. He's always been that father figure. But then the other Mr. Jeffries always felt more like an uncle or something like that. And so she understands what she did is wrong. And, she apologizes to Zaz and this and that. Now let's get into the whole Topaz situation and why she's in the show. So when the girls are walking home from school like they always do, Amber is like in the car with Topaz and she didn't want to be in the car with Topaz, and she gets so mad she gets out and starts walking with her friends, and Topaz all like, Amby Wamby, I miss you and you should forgive me and everything. She always calls her Amby Wamby and her little Amby and stuff because she really does love her sister. It's just that she's a hoe. And so and Amber's all like, I wish I never knew you, like, oh, I hate you, blah, 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 and I wish you could unblank my boyfriend, and blah, 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 like stuff like that. So she wants nothing to do with her sister, and she is holding her ground on that. And so that's the situation with them, because remember, she slept with Brandon in sometime during season 2 in the beginning, and so Amber just has never forgiven her for that. Viva, the leader of the group, has decided it's up to her to mend the relationship between the two sisters. Basically, she's sticking her nose in business that does not deal with her. But it's about too soon. So Viva's like, forgive her, blah, blah. And Amber's like, no. Like, I'm glad Amber is sticking to her ground. But then Viva sets up Amber. She invites the girls over, and then she invites Topaz over, and Amber's all like, what is she doing here? She's all like, I invited her because y'all are going to be friends again, or at least sisters again and stuff. So then, Topaz is just like apologizing profusely to that if Amber wants to be forgiven. She's like, I want to be forgiven. I don't want you hating me no more. I want my little sister back and everything. And she's like, I'll do anything for you, and I mean anything. And so then Amber goes in her dumb state where she's all like, anything, huh? She's all like, will you give me extensions so I can look like a princess? And because Topaz is a hairdresser, and she's like, sure, I'll get you your extensions and stuff. Then all of a sudden, Rocky comes over. And when Topaz sees Rocky, she goes into slut mode. She has no idea who he is, but she just met him for the first time. Now remember, Topaz is older and has already graduated from high school. So she's hitting on a minor. And flirting in with him she is. And so he's oblivious to everything, and Viva is not too happy. She is not happy at all. And Topaz is all kind of like, ooh, look at those muscles and those arms, and how much you work out, and then she's all like, and he's all like, and he's talking about like tattoos, like, yeah, I got a tattoo. He's like, it's on my chest, like, you know how he talks and everything, and he's all like, and then he lifts up his shirt, and she's like, ooh, just look at that, and everything. She's like, I have a tattoo too. Her tattoo is on her butt cheeks. It's 2 eyeballs on both butt cheeks. She turns over, pulls down her pants with her thong on, and shows her butt to Rocky. And they show the actual butt. Viva is livid. And then she tells Rocky, like, you know, come by my hairdresser place and I'll give you like a free haircut and everything. And then so Viva just had it. She's had it. She's pissed. She turns Topaz around. She starts shoving her out like her house or her apartment and everything. And Topaz is all like, Amber, she's hurting me, stuff like that. And Viva's like, I don't care, you get out my place. And then so while all this was going on, the whole flirting and stuff, Amber kept talking about, I want extensions look like this and extensions look like that. So she's completely now forgiving like Topaz. But then Viva, when she realized, oh crap, so then she opens the door and she yells at like Topaz, talking about, Rocky's my fiance and blah, 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 blah. You stay away from him. So she lays into like Rocky and stuff like that. She's pissed. She's jealous. So now she sees exactly what Amber had to deal with the whole Brandon situation. So one day when the girls are all walking, Viva, no, what it is. Amber goes to Viva. She's all like, Topaz won't do my hair until you apologize to her for shoving and pushing her. And so Viva's all like, I ain't apologizing to her. And Amber's all like, you have to. I want to look like a princess and everything. So she does it because she loves Amber. That's her friend. When she goes to Topaz's hair place with Amber, Rocky is there. But she doesn't know it at first. See, he just has something like a towel over his head. And so she apologizes to Topaz, and then Rocky takes off the towel, like, oh, hey, Viva. And she's like, Rocky, what are you doing here? And he's like, getting my free haircut. She's all like, well, I forbid you getting a free haircut from Topaz. And Topaz is just rubbing her hands all through Rocky's head and everything, and really making Viva jealous. And stuff. Viva gets so pissed she just walks off, and then Rocky is still there and stuff. And then so when they get back to like Viva's place towards the end, we see Amber come in and her hair looks completely different. It looks like a wig, and she's all, I got my hair done and everything, and blah, 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 and stuff like that. And Holly's just like insulting her hair. And then we see it's nothing more but a wig. And she's all like, Topaz didn't do my hair, I didn't want her to, and this and that, and all this other crap. So then Rocky comes in. Viva's at the point where she's ready to break up with Rocky. And like, seriously, because she's that jealous and everything. Because she sees it as a form of like cheating and stuff. And so he comes in and with a cap on his head, and they start talking, and he's all like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna dump me? You're gonna dump me again like you did before? And she's all like, well, I'm seriously thinking about it and stuff. And so then they have a heart to heart, and they reconcile, and they stay together. He takes off his cap to reveal he didn't get his hair cut and everything. And so, because she's pissed because, you know, he was looking at her butt cheeks and he was going to take a picture of it because he's talking about, I love tattoos. Like that. Mimicking his voice is fun. And so Viva is getting to the point where it's kind of like, does she really want to marry him? He's dumb. He doesn't have a real job. He doesn't have a place to live on his own because they both live with their parents. He's oblivious to when a girl hits on him, and he even tells her, you know, Viva, you're just gonna have to get used to this. You know, girls, they throw themselves at me like all the time. I can't help that. I just look so good. It's kind of like, but you know, it is something she's gonna have to deal with because girls do throw themselves at him like all the time and stuff, and it's kind of like, what is she gonna do? Because she already doesn't want to stay with him 24/7 because the whole babysitting thing. She gets jealous when other girls are around him. So what is she gonna do? Now she sees what Anna, Miss Hitchcock, went through because with her, Rob was on like a calendar magazine type thing for like sexiest firefighters and his with his shirt off, and she doesn't like the idea of women doing that. So at the end, they get her back by taking all because they once Hitchcock bought all of the magazine type like calendar things. So they took the picture out of Rob and posted them all around school. Miss Hitchcock is furious and just like ripping them off and put them down her shirt and everything. But now Viva knows exactly what she was talking about. Jealousy, like, you don't want your other person with somebody else and stuff, or them hitting on them and stuff. And that's a huge lesson to learn because it's kind of like the whole jealousy thing is kind of like if that person's coming home to you all the time and stay with you and don't cheat, there's no need to get jealous. But if that person has wandering eyes, yeah, you probably should get jealous. And then sometimes jealousy can be like a good thing. It lets a person know you really like them and stuff. And so this was a really good episode. This is what I like about this show. It takes real life issues, it makes light and humorous moments of it, but it gets the point like across and everything. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.